It's a new year and it's a new Switch. Mark. I'll tell you what, we don't get many of these. I was thinking about this on the bus ride here.
Switch Lite, Switch OLED.
Okay, I'm talking about platforms. Like, I don't know when you started getting into gaming-centric stuff, but when I think about Nintendo, it's like 3DS, Wii U, Switch. In terms of actual new hardware platforms, we've gotten this now 3 different times, and that's it. So congrats to both of us and anyone that's watching. We are now
PC.
We are now officially into the new. We have reached a new Nintendo platform era.
You forgot to mention PC. That's where everybody's playing the Switch games.
Fuck it, whatever. That's the. But
it's funny because it's true.
But it's a semi big deal. Like, this is a minor. It's a big deal because this has been so awaited for. But I don't want to downplay the fact that here we are. We officially are here. This is a new platform from Nintendo for the first time in 8 years. And, I mean,
Switch has been doing well. It's been cruising.
It's been cruising.
Because even the Wii had a slow down point, and they had to release something new.
Yeah.
And then they fucked themselves over after that. But with the Switch, it was just like there's kind of no need because it's selling well. Developers are constantly willing to work with it. The player base is still huge. And that's still attracted to developers, and you got the indie scene this day and age is bigger than it's ever been in the past, and because it is, you got indies don't have that much of a high budget, meaning they make games that are that's not made to be optimized for high end systems, and a lot of those games end up on Switch.
Yep.
And that's how the Switch library is fucking massive.
Indeed. Yeah, and we don't look. Before the Switch, we were all talking about the fact that Nintendo was potentially, whatever would have happened, it probably wouldn't have been good for another lost system era from Nintendo. But here we are. Switch is now literally at the doorstep, if not literally a few weeks away from becoming the highest selling system of all time. It has now reached that point. We are now so close to PlayStation 2 losing that top dog status. Which is incredible, and it's great to see that the gaming industry obviously is still doing so well, and Nintendo is back on top with this system. So, look, there's not much to talk about here, there's literally not a lot to talk about. What I like is, again, PlayStation did it. I always like the way that PlayStation did it with the PS4. They did a hardware reveal and then they did games later. And Microsoft kind of leaned too far into it, where they did too much about hardware and they didn't say anything about games.
The problem where they went is they had their people talking about the hardware but not giving too much away. It's the most powerful system I've ever seen. It's very powerful. Power. It does a lot of things.
It tracks your breathing. It requires check-ins. It requires
I stuck my dick in it and I can feel the power. It's a very powerful machine. It's you're talking about the power, but What games? What entertainment value is it adding? You're not talking about what the games, the entertainment, what's on it. They're I always hated those type of commercials. They did it with the fucking Project Scorpio, and that was just the Xbox
the Xbox One X.
One X, yeah, the One X, which didn't do anything different. And they did it again with the fucking Xbox Series, and it's just the Xbox again, but more powerful.
Yes.
And, again, it's nothing new in terms of entertainment value. It's just a more powerful console.
And I think the thing about Nintendo is they can skate on this more than any other hardware manufacturer because Nintendo games are so widely known. I mean, that's why you buy the system. You already know that they are going to have 20 or so, 30 or so exclusive games that will not be on any other platform, that will be on the system, that will be worth your time and worth the price of entry. That from Nintendo already. And I think that, as much as people over these past couple of years have been wondering, well, how much power is it going to have? How is it going to look? All this and that, blah, blah, blah. The thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 is it doesn't really matter. You need it to have some marginal strength, but the real point is, about this system, what are the games going to be that are going to carry into this next generation? And what is the experience going to be like? And will it carry over from the previous gen? That's really the key factors. Will it improve marginally at least? And because, again, like, we're not looking for... it doesn't need to be like a jump from PS3 to PS5. It just, just needs to do enough to make sure that what you're playing is going to be a good enough experience and worth the price of the console.
Oh, yeah. With this one, we just kind of know where the future for Nintendo is going. Also, they are taking a play out of Sony's book, and they're just playing it safe with the name Switch 2.
That is
smart. Very smart. Because some people were hoping for the Super Switch, but at the same time, Switch 2 is just very direct. I mean, it makes me think, how much of history, because I don't think it would still been that big, but still, history would have been changed a little bit if the Wii U was just Wii 2. If they just simply called it Wii 2, I think history would have changed.
Agreed. And we probably don't get the Switch as it is. I don't know what they would do, but we may or may not have gotten the Switch as it is, but the mentality of Nintendo would have certainly been different than it is. The amount of backtracking they unfortunately had to do because of what the Wii U was affected by with its naming convention. Obviously, the reason why they go with 2, like you said, they played it as safe as possible, right? Like, everyone talked about, is it Switch Pro? Is it Switch 2? Is it Switch Advance? Is it Switch whatever, Super Switch? Like, there are a bevy of names, like, that we were wondering, or were they going to drop the name Switch entirely?
I think
but Switch 2 is just, it's a conservative, safe move, and it tells people that this is still part of the Switch, but it's the sequel. And also, again, this hardware reveal does a really good job of showing, no, most likely your Joy-Cons are not going to be... It doesn't seem like, if we're doing a bunch of theoreticals here, you look at the way that the Switch uses magnets instead of the sliding there, I'm going to presume that the original Switch controllers do not work with this Switch model, or the Switch screen, at least, from what it looks like. The way that we're getting these designs, it does look so slightly different that, it's not going to be, the Joy-Cons will not, from Switch 1 will not work. But again, it's just a,
going back to the names real quick, it's like, they were very traumatized with being fancy with the names with the Wii U. And, also, like, another successful naming convention was, the 3DS. That wasn't as direct either, so it wasn't doing... Fucking camera. It wasn't doing as well in the beginning initially. It got better later on, but yeah.
I don't know if that was... I don't know if, even if they had made a naming convention that was more understandable, if that would have sold more DSs, right? Like, or 3DSs.
I think it's what helped, though. It just, like... It probably wouldn't have done that much. Same thing with the Wii U. I don't think it would have helped that much. But it still would have done a bit better if it was more direct.
I don't know if people were really... They weren't on... No one was really, if I recall, no one was really on edge about, like, oh, man, we're going to get a new... Like, it wasn't like... It was exciting, but it wasn't like, ooh, man. Like, same thing with Vita, right? Like, you say PSP2, I don't think people would like, it...
I think because they already confused their market, because they already had a lot of iterations of the PSP.
Agreed, but, like, I think... I think it was different with portables, because portables weren't necessarily on an upswing, it was on a downswing.
I mean, that's the only, like, examples I can bring up, because when it came to the Game Boy Color, it was, like, self-explanatory. The original Game Boy didn't have color. This is the Game Boy with color. Okay. Game Boy Advance. Advance does sound like a newer, like, it sounds like a word that it's, like, sequelized. We're advancing.
Yes.
The Game Boy Advance just sounds self-explanatory. And then, the DS was something different entirely. And then, like, after that, we have, like, other iterations in between. So, like, we got the DSi, and then the 3DS. And I guess that, the name wasn't probably what confused people, but, like, I think it helps with the... It's not about confusion, because the Wii U was about confusion. But, like, I think would have helped it be more attractive.
I agree.
Because naming does help, sell a product.
Naming is incredibly valuable, and I think that Sony realized that as well when they kind of thought, oh, we could make some fancy name. So the PSP2, we just go PS Vita. It's like, people were kind of confused, but I think with both the 3DS and the Vita issue was the price as well. I think that there were a bevy of issues between both of those systems when they were early that was kind of slowing people down from getting them. Whereas, again, the naming is absolutely critical.
Well,
but that's why I thought Switch Advance. I really hoped Advance would have been the name, because I think people would have understood enough that meant a new generation. But I understand Switch 2 is like, how much can we make more? Can we make more money off of just making it as simple as possible? Yes, Switch 2.
Yeah, they already have a fan base and need, like, Also, this day and age, people are more willing to spend like money on hardware, and it's like I don't think price is that much of an issue unless it goes way overboard. But like,
what do you think? What do you think right now? Right now, you've seen this design, you see what it looks like.
Under $500, so it can either be $350 or $400.
I think it's 4. I think we're sitting at a 4 for this. Because I think what Nintendo's going to do is what Nintendo always does, like notably with their DS line, which was when 3DS came around, you still had... I think when DSi came around, what was it? 3DS came around, they had DS Lite until the 2DS showed up. And so you killed off the DS line except for the DS Lite. And I think that Nintendo will either keep the original Switch or they'll go OLED and Lite, and that'll be the exclusive line. And then from there, maybe later on they kill off the OLED, and they kind of just leave it to be the Lite, and Lite stays as the exclusive original model toward the very end of their Switch life cycle. But that's probably 2 years from now. But I think that if you look at the price, the OLED is $349, so I think this will be $399.
So I guess you're between $400 and $450. I mean,
yeah.
So it's going to be under $500. I don't think it's going to reach $500, but
no.
But like,
That's never.
It's either between $400 and $450.
Do you think that the Joy-Cons will get price increases though? Because I think that might be the one area where we see it.
How much Joy-Cons right now?
They're already 80 for 2.
80 for 2?
They're 80 for 2 right now.
That's definitely an increase. You're going to see 100 for 2.
That's what I was going to think.
I think that's probably going to be or 100 and something.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like.
I think 100.
70.
I think 99 for 2 this time.
They'll probably try to sell it a lot, so it's probably going to be like fucking. Fucking 60 for 1 and $120 for 2. That's it. Yeah, that sounds realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. By the way, I still haven't gotten Joy-Cons yet. Is Jesus Christ, those prices. What do you think, by the way, about the fact that like, by the way, again, like, so talking about Joy-Cons before we move off that, like, I like the fact that again you get visually.
We're doing prices right with the Switch 2 right now.
It's a size increase. Like everyone was talking about, oh, maybe they'll do a Switch XL. Well, ta-da! That's what the Switch 2 is. It's basically
that makes sense.
It is a Switch XL. Which
is a screen OLED though? That's a question.
I think it will be. I think that they're going.
I hope.
I think it. Yeah.
It should. I'd say it should be, but like.
But here's the thing: if it is OLED, I think maybe does that boost the price to like $450? Does that make it $449? But I don't think Nintendo would play that.
I can see a $450 Switch too.
Yeah. Because the Switch will still be around. That's the thing people are kind of might forget. The Switch will still be around as the value option, just like the DS Lite was there for years until 2DS showed up as the value option.
I feel like either way it has to be under 500, but I can also see it like skimming 500, but like
Bless you.
like 470 or 469.99 some shit. But like I think this is guaranteed to be under 500. But like if any price, it's gonna be like it could be close to it. It's gonna be like skimming 500.
Yes.
But I feel like my bet is 450 for right now.
Yeah. I like the fact that they again. Here's another. It's a classic Nintendo thing here with their legacy systems. You've got cartridge to cartridge. Now I don't see a difference here. Like they said, Switch 2 titles, we don't visually see a difference. I think that's just because they're showing a Switch cartridge. I don't think that's a Switch 2 cartridge.
Oh no, you're just showing where you put the cartridge slot. That's it.
Right.
It's like like this is because like if people are curious if like because we have a digital only systems now. And,
yes.
And it's in case if people are wondering like how does backward compatibility work if the Switch 2 is digital only, and it's like it's not digital. We got cartridges. Yeah. You put the cartridge in here. This is where the cartridge goes. So it makes sense why that diagram is shown.
Yeah.
Just in case people are wondering. So yeah.
Agreed. And again, like we've talked about this for months now. I do think that the critical pieces for the Switch 2 are just down to infrastructure. Like make sure that the eShop can run functionally well. Make sure that again the system that's all I need. I just need the eShop to run well. I also need Nintendo to it's more about the infrastructure. We knew a Switch 2 was coming, but just make sure that it's operating efficiently. And again, I think back to the eShop thing, like again, the eShop needs to be better managed. There's a lot of trash on that platform. And
that trash is making them money. I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think they care either, but I would hope that they would. And again, like I don't think we're back to the same thing like we talked about with Switch, where it probably will not have media functionality like a bunch of streaming services. They only have like 3 on there right now. I don't think they're prioritizing that still. And I think they're going to roll with what works.
That's not on them either. Unless they like try to go out to those businesses, but like, not many people are like going to the Switch for like
for multimedia.
For multimedia entertainment, they're just going for the games, and like it's not that much of a selling. That was a selling point for the Wii U. It's like, hey, this is a multimedia, device. Except we're still not paying the rights to use our Blu-ray player that we have in our system. But yeah, it's like it was Switch 1 was never going for like, hey, watch all your favorite shows on here. It was just like some I think like,
it was more just
Hulu and the app. I got the apps it got like Hulu and stuff because they knew where the money was.
Yes,
they went to Nintendo and then got their shit. I assume.
Absolutely. The last thing, of course, any more thoughts on Switch 2? Because the last thing we'll talk about, obviously, is going down to the Mario Kart that we've seen.
It should be called the fucking... This is not the Switch. It should be called, like, the Click or the Snap. Those things are just, like, snap in now.
Yeah, there's no long... There, yeah. Well, yeah, they...
The Click.
The Click.
But again, the Nintendo Snap or Nintendo Click, it would just roll off the tongue. But, like, again... Switch 2 is a very safe name. It's also a very popular name. It's just like, it's a Switch, but the second one.
Yep.
And that's attractive to me. I know it's attractive to a lot of people. And I know I'm going to have to fight for those fucking pre-orders as soon as, like, my hand has to be on the trigger for that shit.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go the way that Martin... I was talking to Martin about this. Like, I'm probably going to go the way of GameStop and just do an opening day release. I'm probably going to do that. Because, like, I'm
not having to send to my house and have the package wait outside while I'm at fucking work.
Yeah. Plus, I miss those launch day feelings. Like, I did that with the Darth Vader PS4. We were there. The old friend group was there for the launch. You were there for your Switch. So,
yep.
That was an awesome experience.
And then we saw Logan afterwards. That was a fantastic fucking day.
What a day.
Logan and the Switch came out on the same day.
Man.
Never forget.
What day do you think this lines up with? Zootopia 2? Fucking, I think Zootopia 2.
Nothing! Now get out!
Introducing Mario Kart Super Circuit, only on Game Boy Advance. 4 can play off one game pack. Rated E for everyone.
Look, you could tell it's a new title. Like, some people were like, is that different? It's like, yeah, no, this is clearly different. The lighting is different.
Some of these character designs are different. That's a different Bowser, and we saw a different Donkey Kong design.
Yes. Yes, like, it's evident that this is a new Mario Kart. And I was wondering, like, hey, will it be Mario Kart? But it makes sense. You were like, yeah, it has to be. It makes sense that it would be Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 has become the best-selling Mario thing ever in the history of Nintendo. So, like, why not keep going with the hot hand? So yeah, like, I'm very curious. I'm sure we'll get more about it as it goes on. It may not even be a launch game. I don't think this will be a guaranteed launch game. They're trying to, but I don't know if that'll be the case. It might be first 3 months or 6 months or the year.
Maybe Metroid or something.
Yeah.
You don't know. We don't even know when the Switch is launching, so.
Yep.
I know we're gonna have a launch. We're gonna have a launch first party game or something. They already used their Nintendo card. They were a Zelda card last year, so that's not gonna be a Zelda. And Tears of the Kingdom already came out too.
But Metroid, like you said.
Metroid, but I don't think that's a big seller. So it could be Mario Kart, honestly, because it depends on when the Switch is landing.
Yes. Well, that's the big.
Or it could be just some kind of because it's probably gonna be a big name IP or a brand new IP. Then we're obviously getting the Splatoon 4 announcement too along with this.
Yes.
Because the Splatoon 3 has already done its online run in terms of updates and stuff. It's still running, but like in terms of new updates and stuff, new content, they're already
wrapped up.
They've been done with that for like I think a year now or a year and a half.
Okay.
And that means Splatoon 4 is on the horizon, easily.
I've been hearing around the ether. Look, if they apparently people have been very excited for a new Tamagotchi life. If they reveal a tease of a Tamagotchi title, that'll sell some more Switches on launch.
I mean, I can say the thing about a lot of their fucking IPs. They're like,
I agree. You announce any IP, you're going to get a bunch of people pre-ordering, but a lot of excitement.
Since it's backwards compatibility and the Switch wasn't that the Switch is still minor. I don't think we're gonna get any also we don't need any redos. We're not getting any re-releases
no.
The Wii was needed because also you can't get those, you can't there's no way to re-put those games on there between the Switch and the Wii U.
Also, one thing that's very I think exclusive to Nintendo, outside of rare cases, is that they make their exclusive games on the next platform. They're not doing a lot of cross. Sony, it's we need to do 4. It's no, you're probably going to get a lot. Most of their exclusive games are going to be on Switch 2. It's going to be Switch 2. We're not going to do the dance. We're going to do Switch 2. And I think that's going to be great too, because you're going to get the most power out of whatever the Switch can handle. Switch 2.
And I'm talking about launch, and I'm just talking about new titles.
Yeah, just in general.
But I think and what I'm fully expecting, and the selling point is new Switch Online functionality. So there's a possibility if it's not at launch, they're definitely going to announce it that the GameCube feature is coming. There's no way it's not coming. That GameCube feature has to show up.
Do you think when you talk about new feature set, do you also think that finally communication will be on Switch 2? Because they got away with it.
Nintendo wants to do that.
They don't, but they got away with it with Switch. But it's wow, this is the only thing out there where
I don't think it's gonna be a selling point for them though.
Yeah, they don't care,
yeah.
And I don't think most people do. But I'm very surprised that we're in 2025 and
I think they're going to do fine with
committed.
it. Honestly.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get some new online functionality. I think definitely the GameCube, if it's not coming at launch, is going to be announced. That's going to be the other tier of it. And there's going to be other, I can't think of any on the top of my head, but, I feel Switch Online, the service, is going to get some big,
changes.
Yeah, going to get some big changes.
Some big
benefits.
Well, scarily enough, again, this is the time period where I was curious about, I was going to say this about Mario Kart, but it's the same thing with Nintendo as well. They're slow to adapt to the world around them. They kind of react to things. They implement new gaming strategies kind of years later. So clearly, I think with Switch, they do have tiers, but they're not really tiers. It's just family or regular. And it's now there is the boost. There's the how levels are there? It's just regular and family, right?
No, it's just 2.
It's 2
regular and extra.
But it's
you get Game Boy Advance and 64 and Genesis.
And the Animal Crossing.
I don't know why the fuck Genesis is there. There's so many Genesis fucking companies.
And the Animal Crossing and all that shit. But
the DLC, yeah.
But this is where it's okay, how much more are they going to charge for a third tier for Switch 2? How are they going to approach this? How much more are they going to charge? And back to the Mario Kart thing that I'm curious about is the magic about Mario Kart 8 is it was
4 p.m.
The magic of Mario Kart 8 was that it's a platform that's stuck in it's truly stuck in 2014, right? The base of that game is stuck in 2014. So none of the online dangers are kind of in the modern Mario. The modern game is not in Mario Kart yet. What do they implement? Do they implement any of the not that Nintendo would, but are they going to implement any of these sort of negative new things that we've seen out of the gaming industry over the past 10 years that have not been implemented in Mario Kart that could easily slide into it? Anything like DLC that costs money, that's not tracks or anything, but single carts or any areas like that. Are there areas that Nintendo could see, we'll make more money off this and kind of...
They have enough fan base to charge something and get
away with it. That's the fear.
They always follow their own rule set and they don't play anything else. I remember,
they do, but we've seen that they have made half measures.
Most of their staff, and especially their higher up staff, don't, because I remember I heard the fucking Denovo, not Denovo. It was their mobile game company they were working with. Yeah. When they were trying to pitch things to Nintendo, they were mentioning things like how Steam or PlayStation or Xbox. And then somebody had to help him, had to bring him out of the room and talk to him you gotta stop mentioning Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation because they don't play any of those.
That's good. And I think that's why Nintendo is special. I think that's also why, I think that's why that's special. I hope that they...
And you kind of can see that in the way they do stuff. Like, it's just like,
to the most part. They're like, again, it seems like they don't implement things, and the things that they do implement are kind of further things that are kind of like multi-years back in the industry, which is good for us because we don't see that much of an impact negatively. As long as the stuff that we've seen from the Mario sports games doesn't start to bleed into other areas, then I think Switch 2's gaming life is going to be absolutely excellent, and I'm very excited for it.
That means they're not absent from scummy things either. Like, fucking...
Yeah.
Let's charge $60 for a fucking Wii game, fucking Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, right now, that just came out.
Yeah.
Like, they're not new changes, just like we just put it on there. $60, please. Money.
Embarrassing. But, yeah, I'm curious. I like the new carts. I like what they're bringing to the table here. I'm curious what ends up happening on this platform. And I'm curious why this HDMI cable keeps, saying F you and not working. But Switch 2, again...
That's all right, it's probably the TV.
I'll tell you what, Mark, like, again, that April event is going to be huge.
I like how it's like directly, like, immediately after April 1st, nobody takes it as a joke. Yeah. Same deck. I was hoping for a box that, like, enhances it. Comes with a fucking fan.
I'm glad you talked about the deck. I'm actually very disappointed. That's the only disappointing thing is I was like, the deck might be the most boring looking thing of the... It is the most boring thing on the entire, like, Switch, like, the Switches that we've had through history.
It also always feels flimsy. It feels like it could break inside there. That's why I kept getting, like custom decks, because, a lot of you can find a lot of custom decks through, like,
much cooler
developers. Ones with fans,
yeah.
Ones that feel more safe.
Just cooler ones.
I have one that I use for my Steam Deck. I just put the Switch in.
Yeah. There's no point.
Don't use the deck the Switch comes with. Use a custom deck that's like cooler and safer.
It's just a lame design though. Like this one, this one specifically.
I'm gonna use another custom deck again because
Agreed.
I wonder if like the old Switch deck is compatible.
That is the question. I don't think the old one. I bet the new one will be compatible with the old, but I don't know if the old one will be compatible with.
There's probably like a shape thing.
Yeah.
It still just looks like a basic USB-C connection.
Because it is bigger, if you notice. Like, remember, the Switch is bigger.
I'm pretty sure my third-party decks would still work for this thing. Like,
yes.
My Steam Deck, fucking using the word deck twice. My Steam Deck. Fuck. Deck. He wants to be all the decks. Will work with the Switch too. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
No Street Pass still.
Still no. And again, that's another one where it's like, but even then, it's like, even if you added Street Pass now, it's like, all right, so now you have.
It was such a fun social aspect, man.
Yeah. I don't get if you brought back some of that. That's where it's like, again, I don't know what the home screen's going to look like on the Switch 2, but you put some of that energy of the Wii back into this, where you just have a more friendly atmosphere. There's nothing wrong with that. So
I'm gonna need some big cargo pockets for this device because
that's not. Yeah, this is not travel. You're not like you just got away with with the regular Switch. You can barely get away with that. But you talk about.
I'm not playing this on hours already iffy of playing Switch on the subway. I think now you can because everyone has one. It's like not that valuable. I'm not getting caught dead playing a Switch 2 on the fucking subway.
Well, the thing is, if you have regular, if you have Joy-Cons that you can kind of. I wouldn't want to myself, especially on the Baltimore subway. But you could probably get away with it as long as no one can tell it's a new Switch.
Oh, this is not gonna be a portable device to me.
It's not. No, it doesn't. I mean,
it stays home.
By portable, I mean I'll be probably playing it around the house, not on a TV.
I'll probably be in terms of portability, I'll probably be playing it on if the game's good enough, probably on a travel trip, like a plane. Where there's security.
Yeah, a plane.
But not on fucking a bus or anything or other commutes.
I'll play it on a hotel room. On an Amtrak.
I'll play on the hotel room.
Yeah, hotel room, Amtrak, flight. Yeah, but not like you said. I'm not doing this publicly.
This is this. The bigger it is, it's definitely less travelable.
Dude, I see people with iPads just casually out. I'm like, you guys aren't worried about this? You guys aren't gonna, Yeah.
I don't fuck with tablets except for like
I don't
using it for like.
I use the Surface, but the Surface I use as a laptop.
I only use it to control podcasts.
Yeah. Right here, and that's about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ta-da!
7, 8.
All right. I think that'll wrap it. I'm very excited. Again, I'm very excited for us as a group, because I think we'll make this like a group thing for the.
If we can get those pre-orders in, fucking PS5 pre-orders were like, the pre-orders are gonna start tomorrow, and then every store was like, oh no, they start today!
Yeah.
And then like, they're all gone.
I think we'll be good. Switch 2, I don't know, like, if you
Nintendo has been good about keeping up with demand.
But I mean, if you went with the local thing, not the online thing, I think locally you'll be fine. I think, you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm doing the GameStop method. If you do it online, probably fucked. But you do the local method, I think you'll be fine.
You gotta, hopefully, it's not like a shadow drop. I don't know. Maybe I have to, like, I haven't got to watch the direct while I'm, like, in front of a GameStop, man. I don't fucking, like, I don't know when they're gonna drop those pre-orders.
I think we're good, especially, like, by the April event. I think the April event, and then you go within 24 hours.
I gotta look up, I gotta do my research. I gotta remember how Switch 2 did it.
Or Switch 1 did it. Remember,
Switch 1, I mean.
Well, remember, Switch also had the problem where you couldn't get,
I somehow got one, and I wasn't that, like, I wasn't that on the trigger, like...
you know what? I'm misremembering. It was the issue of no one really wanted it that much, but it was available. Then COVID hit. Everyone wanted it, and then that was when it was hard to find.
Oh, that was far afterwards.
That was far after. Exactly. That was far afterwards. I was miscounting there, but like that was all. It was the COVID stuff that kind of put it in a loop.
But like but like I managed to get my hands on like the Switch 1 easily in terms of pre-orders and getting on that midnight launch.
Yeah.
For this one, people are more loving on hardware. I'm buying new hardware now. Everyone's more about like consuming the newest hardware, so it's like I gotta be happy. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have to figure it out when the days come.
Again,
and I'm gonna do my research on how I forgot how Switch 1 did it.
Wait.
I don't know if they like released the pre-orders like the day afterwards or something.
Wait a sec. Wait.
You're gonna look it up?
No. Wait. I'll edit this one, so I have no problem with this whole.
Brian, can you pick up more adult diapers for yourself? You just a mess.
You shit on the ground again.
A pizza.
Martin.
Yes, I saw it. I meant to text you. I forgot. My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all
you
good.
saw Brian's dick pics? Gross!
All right. So, no, because, like, we were just doing a brief convo on it. We're not going to do a big, like, pod event until, obviously, April. Of course. The April event.
April Fools!
So I was thinking about this because, like, what I wanted to do was let me know which GameStop you're going to pre-order the Switch 2, because
wait, are you editing this out?
No, because I'm gonna don't let me know. I'm saying don't let me know now on the fucking podcast.
Okay, I'm about to say, gee.
But I mean, it's not like they're gonna fucking not people. We have like 20 people watching like random videos, so like it's not like
everyone. Just in case, we could be like fucking popular by tomorrow.
Whatever.
Because like I don't know, Martin comes out as a fucking pedo and like and then he's infamous, and because of his connection to our podcast, we become famous.
Good, you don't want to. But point being, let me know later on, whenever it gets revealed in April, which GameStop you're gonna pre-order, so that on the launch night, whatever, 12 o'clock, I'm probably gonna go over there. On that, I'm probably gonna do same location. I'm gonna try and do this so that it's a cool ass vibe. Cause Mark's over here, he's fucking worried that no one's gonna be able to get a Switch 2, and I'm like, well, Nintendo, I think it'll be a big deal, but I think if we do the local GameStop, it's not gonna be that bad. So, but all I'm saying is, just let me know.
It's gonna be terrible.
I think the last Switch didn't get everyone got that one.
I got that one.
Yeah.
It was only the PS5 that everyone couldn't get.
What are you talking about? No one could get the Xbox. What are you
Actually, no. Nobody can actually get the Xbox Series X. You can get... Series S's were, like, around the block. They were, like, everywhere. No one can get their hands on the Series X.
Very true. But Martin, what did you think about the... before we end the call, what did you think about the Switch 2? We have you near the microphone.
Extremely, the reveal was extremely underwhelming. I'm super pumped that it got revealed.
Yeah.
But it was very underwhelming. A little upset they didn't call it the thing I was really hoping they called it. I knew they wasn't going to call it that, but I was really hoping they called it. But
Super Switch.
What did you want it called? Switch Ussy?
The old switcheroo.
Oh my god.
The Nintendo Thick.
Jesus. Yeah, I thought they showed just enough. They didn't need to get any. What do you think about the new Mario Kart?
If rumors are shown true, and it actually is an open world Mario Kart game.
What? Who's saying that? I don't need an open world Mario Kart. I don't need that.
No, he's hoping for Diddy Kong Racing. That's because that's an open world karting game.
Ah, I see.
So just more Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, something similar to that.
We'll see.
That's just Diddy Kong Racing.
We'll see. If they do that, then Sega better re-release Transform just to show him who's boss. But, but
they can make a giant marathon where all the races, a bunch of races are just connected to each other and you just drive to the next one. And that's just a part of the race.
They could, where it's just a never-ending. You don't have to do loading screens. You just kind of flow into the next thing.
I don't know. Fucking Crossworlds is coming out.
Crossworlds is coming out. Yeah, but that's not until 2026. I think is what they said.
Switch 2 launch, baby.
Yeah.
Where's my Bomberman 3, please? Let's have another Bomberman launch again. That'll be cool.
That they're going to be able to play the older Switch games on the newer system. I wonder what they mean. Are the cartridges going to be larger for the Switch 2?
So we don't know about what the cartridges will look like. I'm guessing it'll be like the 3DS design, where it's basically a DS-looking cartridge, but then they add a little hook.
A little fucking extra plastic, so you can't put in your old Switch and cheat.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
That's what the 3DS.
So they're going to have 2 docking points, or just that one?
No, just the one. It looks like, right? Like,
yep,
it doesn't look like
just one.
Just like the DS to 3DS, same dock, same port, different design slightly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What do you think about the Joy-Cons, by the way?
That's a godsend. That's a godsend. I like someone who don't use the Joy-Cons because they're too small for my hands. Larger Joy-Cons with more room, and also it looked like you can use it like a mouse.
So I don't know if that's just them doing I don't know if they were doing a hardware porn with that or if that's real.
That looked like hardware porn. They was not really demonstrating.
I don't think anyone wants to.
They was not demonstrating that as functionality.
By the way, I don't think anyone wants to grind their $100 Joy-Cons against a goddamn table. I don't think anyone wants to actually do that.
Wait, you're not supposed to?
Kind of specialty little mat or something for that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think that was just because it looked like they were doing the chasing mice thing because they had the two chasing each other. I think that was just hardware porn.
Yeah, because they wasn't displaying as functionality because they were displaying functionalities with the shit they were doing.
But yeah, we will see. We will certainly see. But Martin, we just wanted to check in with you on the what you thought about Switch 2. What do you think?
I cannot wait.
By the way, last thing. What do you think about the boring ass dock? They didn't do shit to its design. Looks worse. Looks boring.
Still flimsy.
It does look like a toaster. Good point.
It's like the last one.
Like the last one.
I like toaster better than just square.
And also I've seen custom decks where people have made it a toaster, and I'm like, I want that.
Yeah, it made it a toaster, right? So I like that better than a rectangle.
Yeah, I think
I'm just going to use my custom deck.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm
not going to use this thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Martin, do you have any other words before we send you off to space?
No, nothing. No, I hope a little underwhelming that it was Shadow Drop, but for the most part, I am happy that it is coming out soon. Also, are you happy, leakers? For the love of God, you guys have...
They spoiled everything. They were just like, we got news, we got pictures, we got videos, we got cases.
I have another friend who's
we got DVDs, I'm selling DVDs. We got this movie's not even out yet. I got DVDs.
he saw all the leaks for this and knew everything was coming. So when he saw things like, I wasn't really all that. Sorry, I knew all that. Well, it's your own fault. That's your own fault.
You did it. Like, that's why it's like, yeah, just like, if you're looking for development news, just stay away from it. And so you'll be...
If you look at a new reveal, or you look at leaks and spoilers ahead of time, and then when it comes out and it's just the things you saw already, that's your own fault.
That is your own fault. You got too close to the sun. That's on you.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
The hardware is not the exciting portion anyway. What's exciting is the software for it.
But then again, I'm more interested in the games that will be coming out on there.
That's literally the same thing that Mark just said.
Metroid Prime 4 is a launch title.
You're a fucking idiot, Martin. Get the fuck out of here.
Huh?
He's like, wait, what? No,
Go home and tell your mother you're a disappointment.
But no, Martin, we were talking about, like launch games. Yeah, clearly this Mario Kart could either be launch or within the launch window. But yeah, Metroid is probably going to be the big launch game. But like Mark was saying earlier, probably not the big system seller. So they still need.
Be a system seller.
Yeah, they still need a big title.
I think the system itself is going to be a system seller.
Yeah,
I think the launch game hasn't been revealed
yet.
Or it could be Mario.
It's ARMS 2.
Or it could be Mario Kart.
It's going to be either if Mario Kart's one of the launch titles, the other one's going to be what? Maybe a new.
I know because here's what I'm expecting that's going to be announced. Splatoon 4. We're getting a new Mario Kart, a new Mario thing. They already used their Zelda cards last year, and Tears of the Kingdom already came out, so that's not Zelda's done.
Yeah, for a number of years.
For the next 2 years. Zelda's done for the next 2 years. Pokemon does their own thing, so we're not getting any Pokemon announcements. So we're probably... It's possible we can get a new IP. Because I can't think of any dormant ones they really want to bring back. That would be a surprise to me if they do.
The dormant thing is the GameCube thing. That's going to be the dormant...
Well, I was going to get to that. I mean, the biggest thing that's going to be for launch is new Switch online features. I think we're just repeating things while
we're repeating things, but Martin's here, so it's good to have.
But he's not adding anything. We're just repeating it, and he's just quiet now.
Well, no, Martin. If I remember, you predicted. You had a prediction of the online function would be the online feature set would be GameCube, Dreamcast, a GameCube, Dreamcast, and then I think there was a third one, but I don't remember what the third one was. But GameCube, Dreamcast would be the big
Yes, it's definitely going to be GameCube. It's definitely going to be Dreamcast. Those are the two ones I see that's coming. Did I have a third one?
No. I drew in Xbox original in there like an asshole because that's not actually going to happen. But it's just
I highly doubt it's going to be Dreamcast because I think they're
doing the remake line.
They're doing.
Yeah.
They already have those games to kind of release on Steam, even though they're taking it away. It's easy they can make a collection, or they're there's been rumors they're going to remake the Sonic Adventure games anyway. And as what some of the best games on the Dreamcast library besides the Sega stuff, the Capcom stuff, and they just found out how to kind of re-release those shits. So a lot of because the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, it's pretty much it should be called the Capcom Dreamcast Collection because those are all Dreamcast games. Those are all Dreamcast exclusives.
Fighters on Dreamcast.
Huh?
I mean, there's a bunch more fighters on Dreamcast.
There were, but not a bunch more, a couple more. Because there wasn't that much on the Dreamcast. But a lot of the Dreamcast's library, a lot of Dreamcast's great library were Capcom games, and they're already re-releasing those themselves. In terms of the main Sega titles, they still have. Well, they're taking them away, so I don't know what they're doing with them. But they can probably either make their own collection because they've already been remastered,
right,
and put on Steam and shit. But I doubt the next thing up is going to be Dreamcast because they've been having trouble emulating that, and I think Capcom just found some kind of solution.
Indeed. All right, Martin, we will talk.
You added nothing, Martin. God damn it,
Martin. Anything else to the world that you'd like to say?
No, I'm good. For now, anyway. Let me know when y'all doing thing again.
All right.
We're not letting you know because we're not talking to you ever again. You are off the pot. You are fired.
Mark, we need him.
Alright. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you then. Mark, he's our entire investment.
Right. Mark. No, you're like, Mark, he's a shareholder. Fuck!
He bought the podcast. All right, I think that wraps it. Switch 2, we'll be back talking about this in April. Very hyped. We'll probably do a short discussion on the overall Switch life cycle here that we've gone through. But yeah, Switch 2, great announcement. All right, I know Martin said he was underwhelmed. I was just fine with it. I didn't need a ton. I don't expect a ton.
That was about what I was expecting.
Yeah.
That's just about what I was expecting. The Switch 2 itself is about what I was expecting. Because, like, when I imagine, like, the second Switch, I'm like, it's not going to be, like, any more powerful than a fucking, than a Steam Deck. It's, like, it's not going to reach any type of power of the fucking, even the PS4 Pro.
No.
It's probably going to be as powerful as Steam Deck or slightly underpowered.
I didn't expect it to be as strong as the Steam Deck would. I'm going to be honest. I think, like...
So it was, it's not going to be as power, it's just going to be, like, enhancing the hardware even a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is kind of realistically, these are kind of the enhancements I expected.
Because,
I wasn't expecting any kind of new gimmick or anything. This is just, like, about everything I was expecting. So... every expectations, I'm not disappointed. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm not over the moon because no matter what the reveal is, I'm going to buy it anyway, even if it's a piece of fucking dog shit. I'm going to buy this thing anyway because that's what I just always buy. I have to buy the newest toys.
By the way, like, again, if you're...
I have this fucking thing on my desk right now. It's just like what I'm just. By
the way, that hypothetically is 25% of the cost of a Switch.
The only thing I'm asking for Nintendo is more information of the thing I'm going to already spend my money on.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, if you're looking for a powerful device, there's hundreds of, these Steam-powered and cloud-powered handheld devices now. Like when Switch came out, it was kind of on its own. And that was special. Now, it's like, if you want a powerful portable, congrats. Like, Nintendo doesn't have to be the one for you. So, I'm not looking for power. That's not the point. I don't care. I'm here for Nintendo.
They can't do it anyway.
and even if they could, like, what games are going to be fucking losing their mind? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry, but, like, Astrobot taught me, like, hey, this is what Mario would look like if it was on the PS5. And I'm like, damn, I'm playing, like... Well, first of all, I would love a Mario PS5, but also, Astrobot is Mario PS5. It's like, I'm playing Mario on the PS5. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's like that. There's you're ahead of the curve right there.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
That's why we need Astrobot. I want a Mario game on, like, the most top quality hardware.
The most top quality hardware. All right, guys. Appreciate you for watching.
I don't. I'm just kidding. I do. Please stay. Don't subscribe back. It was a joke, people.
Mark, get him out of here.
All right, logging out, everybody, and don't pre-order Switch 2 until I pre-order it. I need this. I need this thing. I need this toy.
Dibs.
All I have is the Alarmo.
Dibs.
Well, logging out.